This is Aaron Lahman. Welcome to episode 30 of our Healing Voices YouTube channel and podcast. Really excited to have you here. If you are brand new to the podcast or YouTube channel, welcome. The initial vision with this podcast, with the Our Healing Voices community, was to create a community where we remind each other that we're not the only ones saying yes to healing, to shifting, to evolving, to growing, to expanding in love. I know that for myself, I've been, was raised in the church, raised with the concept of pruning and improving and growing as a faithful person. And then post-college into my 20s, I started getting into different zones of spirituality, different zones of healing. And so over this last 15 to 18 years or so, have been really intrigued by body, mind, spirit wellness modalities that are practiced all around the world. And so I sometimes, while I was reading those books or while I was studying different things, while I was doing different practices, I was like, am I the only one that cares about this stuff? Am I the only one that wants to let go of old shit that doesn't serve me? And yes, I have realized that I am not the only one. And if you are here and maybe feel like you're the only person in your family that cares about evolving, generational stuff, you're home here. Will be my thought. You're home here because I'm letting go of generational stuff. You're letting go of generational stuff. There's a lot of us letting go of generational patterns that no longer serve us. And so I wanted to create a community where we knew and were reminded that we're not the only ones, that there are a lot of people. There are actually way more people than we can even fathom around the globe who are saying yes to doing things differently, to looking in the mirror and giving ourselves warm, loving, gentle affirmations, and learning new stories and shifting paradigms and changing synapses, right? Literally going in and saying, that synapse right there, that no longer serves me. How can I uproot that? Do I need to go to therapy? Do I need to practice meditation? Maybe I need to talk to a friend. Maybe I need to have a difficult conversation with somebody I love, right? So again, shifting synapses, you're not alone. Thanks for being here. Thanks for saying yes to your healing. And in my humble journey, I would say that as you and I, as we each say yes to our healing, we are also helping the world heal. So may we have the courage to keep on going. And then the last piece, I've been doing mostly interviews throughout these first 30 episodes. This is my third solo drop. And so I guess that means 27 different interviews with amazing humans, beings from around the world. And just to remind us that our voices are key, that we each, as we're making the shifts, you've been through stuff, right? Just like I've been through stuff, just like Idara's been through stuff, just like Nikki's been through stuff, just like Nathan's been through stuff, right? We all have stories and voices that are really important to put in the room and to have just like open and honest conversations. It's a learning experience, I think, that we're all having together. And so by doing these interviews, I hope that it's provided you or will provide you, if you're brand new, I hope that it provides a reminder that your voice, the book inside of you, is excited to be written, at some point, someday down the road. So, so those are the main reasons that I sought to start this community and to start this podcast and YouTube channel. Was everyday people are healing, you, me, and the person we just met at the coffee shop. So let's keep doing that healing. And let's keep having conversations. Let's keep having conversations with each other. Let's ask our friends a question about their healing, about their body, mind, spirit wellness. And let's just listen and find out what they're going through, what's good, what's not good, what's really difficult. Maybe there's some generational stuff that's really difficult to let go of. So on that note, I'm going to drop in probably for about 15 more minutes today. This will be a shorter episode. I'm going to drop in on some personal healing I'm doing. Okay. So I'm going to start with just a meditation that I wrote about a week ago for myself, like to myself. And yeah, maybe it'll resonate with you. I hope it does. And so here it is. The question is, what if the bar you set for yourself is too high? What if the bar you set for yourself is too high? Deep breath in, deep breath out. Perfectionists, it's time to drop the shoulders. Release the weight to find a healthier spot for the bar, or maybe even throw that made up mental bar out into the middle of the ocean. Say goodbye to the extreme expectations you have for yourself. At least sometimes, right? You are human, right? You are still wanting to laugh and be silly, right? You are still curious about aspects of life, right? You can't go this hard and this fast forever and call it healthy, can you? Where's the line for you? Do you know when you're locked in autopilot and not in your body where you are because you're so tired? Do you know when you're locked in autopilot and not actually in your body where you are because you are so tired? You are exhausted. You are wiped. It's clear. Enough is enough. You are worthy of rest and relaxation too. You are worthy of watching a movie for fun. You are worthy of reading a book out on the deck. You are worthy of doing nothing and just being. You are worthy now. Always have been, always will be. Just got some mixed up stories about performance being the measure of your value. Not maliciously intended by family or friends in most cases, but a big part of the American cultural training you received via academia and church and sports and music and the media. Well, it's time for the new story. The new mindful breathing practice. The new peaceful flow through the day. The new silly childlike playfulness. The new here, now, this moment awareness. The new creative juices and magical manifesting moving freely through you. The new gentleness and patience and warmth coming from you for you. The new gentleness and patience and warmth coming from you for you. It's not just about others. It's about filling you up too. It's about doing things for you too. It's about dreaming and imagining and exploring what interests you too. Perfectionists, it's time to drop the shoulders, release the weight to find a healthier spot for that bar. Or maybe even throw that made up mental bar out into the middle of the ocean. Deep breath in, deep breath out. So a little poem that I wrote for myself, almost about a week and a half ago, just as I was having this dialogue before bed with myself about what am I really? Why am I here really? What is this life journey that we're having and experiencing together for really? Like, what is the goal, you know? And for me, I have, from a very young age, was performing, right? I was playing the violin. I was playing the violin for older people in a retirement community. I think when I was 3 or 4, it wasn't impressive at 3 or 4, but I was playing the violin and performing. At 4, I ran my first 5K. Yeah. And I could go on and on and on about different ways in which, right, the system, both family, both school and church and the media, right, has constantly been inviting me into this production is your worth. Production is proof of your worth. And it just doesn't fit for me. It doesn't work for me. It does not resonate with my soul, right? It resonates with my ego, which wants to have 9,000 downloads of this video, right? The ego in me is like, oh, I want I need the downloads, right? I want the downloads. I want this YouTube video to go viral, right? My ego does. My ego does. My soul literally just wants love, right? It literally just wants love. It just wants me to show up for love. And showing up for love, I think many of us got the message, got the story that showing up for love meant showing up for others all of the time, oftentimes sacrificing our own wellness, our own health in doing so. So for me, this poem came out of a place. So full disclosure, my mom was diagnosed with unhealthy cell tumors back at the end of July. Okay. My mom, who's actually, from my observation, she has been one of the healthiest humans I've known. Okay. I'm just, yeah, healthiest humans I've known. I mean, never smoked a cigarette, never, hardly has ever touched alcohol, like has had very moderate lifestyle, has eaten, sweets occasionally, but not consistently, moves her body regularly, eats better than most, right? Has been very intentional, emotionally takes care of herself, right? So here, all of a sudden, right, this woman that I have had in this pedestal zone is going through a tough time, right? And long story short, we're now about 3 months in, I think. Yeah, it's been about 3 months. 3 months ago, my mom and dad moved out here to California. And so my wife and I, Sarah and I, have been showing up. Mom calls me her mindset coach. I'm doing walks with her, mindset work, massage and energy work with her. We're doing circuits, working on her movement, and really at the end of the day, just helping her make some pretty powerful shifts. And also we're helping with the cooking, and we're helping with the juicing and this sort of stuff, helping she and dad navigate this journey as she heals herself. Okay. And so I have been actively diving into a lot of individual personal healing, right? Generational healing. She and I are having daily dialogue about generational yucky stuff, right? Generational things that we're like, yeah, that was a story that no longer has to apply to us. So here we are, 3 months, super blessed. I feel super fortunate to be able to walk with her on this path. And the path, the future is unknown, right? At the end of the day, the future is unknown. But today, I get today, right? We each get today. My mom gets today to say yes to her healing. You, myself, your family members, we all get to say yes to healing today in our own unique ways, right? Not a one path reality. A few of the takeaways that have been coming up, and I'm pretty sure this is why this perfectionism thing has popped up. I talked about it with my therapist back in August, soon after finding out about my mom's health journey with unhealthy cells. And so, yeah, perfectionism was something that came up, and this like performance being the way in which I feel worthy, right? That if I can just perform enough, right? If I could just achieve enough, then the powers that be, the world, the these people around me will look at me and be like, oh, Aaron, yeah, he's successful, right? Like if I can only achieve these specific things, these bars, right? I'm having to reach up to these bars. So what my mom and I, what we've been spending a lot of time on is getting back to the earth, right? Because a lot of these constructs have been created in our minds, right? The cultural systems that exist, the cultural systems that we've been a part of, have taught us specific ways in which to show up, specific things to do in order to be impressive, to achieve abundance, to be successful, right? We've been given a lot of messages, and so what we're really working at doing is getting down to the bare foundational root root values, right? So if our bodies are to be in wellness, right? If our bodies are to be operating in health, in vibrant health, what does it require, right? Does it require perfection when it comes to food and eating? Does it require a every single day meditation practice? Does it require reading X number of books per year? Does it require giving up certain substances? Does it require, right? So we all have different stories when it comes to what wellness looks like, what health looks like. And so what my mom and I have been doing is like, how do we, shimmy it down to some basic core principles, right? Letting go of some of this performance, this perfectionism, this do, serve, do, always doing, always serving, and never actually in the moment, because we're constantly thinking about the next thing we have to do. You know what I'm saying? So we're doing, serving, working, giving, doing, serving, working, and we're never actually in that moment while we're doing such and such, because we're thinking about the next thing on our list, right? You feel me? I know other people have this thing going on. I'm not the only one that's had this story or this challenge, right? So what we're working on is, whoa, where are we? Where are we? One of the questions I ask my mom daily is, where are you? And she says, I'm safe on the earth. Where are you? I'm safe on the earth. Where are you? I'm safe on the earth. Because part of her wellness story and my understanding of energy and healing is, if maybe you're familiar with the chakras, and from root chakra all the way to crown chakra, right? So this energy system, and I'm not super well studied on it, but what I've learned and gathered over the years in this body, mind, spirit, wellness world is that we want to feel the connection to the earth, right? From our root, we want to feel that connection, feel that support, feel that, right? I'm not breathing right now without these trees, right? We're not alive right now without these plants, without this earth. So this is a miracle, right? So dropping into that root awareness, right? And then the crown is about connection to the divine, maybe connection to ancestors, connection to guides, spirit guides, if you will, right? Connection to the energy that we are, right? This energetic experience, this connection that we have with all things. So again, this is just kind of my interpretation. So what we've been working on, because my mom has spent a lot of time in create and do and manifest and vision, lots of mental work, and has been incredibly successful, right? Incredibly successful. And yet has sometimes not been in her body as well, not been in her body as often, right? Because she's always planning, always working on that next thing. Again, no judgment from my mom. We've been having these dialogues, and I'm going to have her listen to this before I share this on YouTube and or podcast. So if you're curious if I checked in with her, I did, and here it is. So what we've been focused on, and I'm doing the same healing, right? It's not just about my mom's healing, right? We are infinite energy beings, right? We are infinite energy beings. My mom and I are similar, and we have similar generational work to do, right? We have this wildly high expectation, this wildly high bar of what it means to be successful, what it means to be a servant, what it means to be a follower of Jesus, of love, right? A follower of, like, we have very high bars. So what we're really seeking to do is come back into our bodies, right? That it's safe for Aaron, it's safe for my mom, it's safe for you to be in your body in the moment where you are right now. And you can touch your shoulders, I can touch my arms to remind myself, right? That it's safe to be where I am. It's safe to be right here, right now. That I'm infinite energy and that I can be in the moment, right? When I'm and again, this is obviously, each of us has to have our own conversation with this idea, right? Each of us has different past experiences which make us not feel safe in this moment, right? And some people have present experiences. Maybe you're listening to this and you don't currently feel safe in your certain circumstance. And so I humbly acknowledge I don't know, right? I don't know what it's like to be you. I pray that we can all get the help we need, right? Get the help we need, and then reconnect with this idea of, how do I connect and feel safe on the earth, right? How do I ground out? How do I reconnect to this amazing earth that we're living on and sharing together? So, all that to say, the healing path that you're on, that I'm on. I'm not going to dive in too much deeper on my mom, but just that, my prayer, obviously, through the healing stuff that we've been doing and practicing with her, I have visions of the next 20 years with my mom. I'm choosing that. I'm believing that. I'm seeing that. Is that a guarantee? No, but it's not a guarantee that I'm alive tomorrow, right? It's not a guarantee that any of us have tomorrow. So for me, this perfectionism poem that I read, right? This perfectionism poem is dropping the shoulders, lifting the weight, right? I am not responsible for everyone on the planet, right? I can love the best I can, but none of us can carry the weight of the world by ourselves, right? There's so many of us that have specific talents, specific gifts, specific things, in ways in which we feel passionate and called to help the world. And so we can release the weight and drop into our hearts and just focus on loving where we are and who we're with, right? So I'm gonna breathe on that. So breathing that in a little bit. So I guess I would invite us all. I'm inviting, this keep this conversation going, keep the conversation with yourself. Like, what is success to you? Like, what is enough to you, right? What is enough? Like, what will allow you to feel worthy of love and health, right? I mean, when I look at if I were to look at a playground of kids, 100 kids, we look at all 100 of those kids, and we're not, like, if we're in our soul space, right? If we're in our soul space, we're looking at those 100 kids and we're like, oh my gosh, they are all worthy of love right now. They are worthy of a hug right now. They are worthy of kindness right now. They are worthy of food right now. They are worthy. They are just worthy of love. But as we grow and get older, we start to be like, oh, that guy, oh, he's worthy. That guy, oh, that person's worthy. And we start to, like, put ourselves on different levels of worth. You know what I mean? We decide, like, oh, this, if I do this, if I achieve this, then I'm worthy, right? That's what we do to ourselves. And yet right now, every single one of you, myself included, right? We are worthy right now of kindness from ourselves. We are worthy of warm, loving, gentle words from ourselves. So what do you need to hear from yourself? You know, I could say, oh, I need to hear it from my wife. No, I need to start hearing it from myself more, right? Oh, no, I need to hear it from my friend. No. I need to start hearing it from myself more, that I'm worthy right now, right? And so again, my mom's 68 and we're having these daily dialogue. The daily dialogue is worthy now, worthy always, and worthy forever. And even in those darkest, toughest times in the past, you were worthy. Those times where you made mistakes, made choices that didn't work out, that hurt somebody, that hurt yourself, right? We've always been worthy of love. And so we can always come back, right? Again, not about perfection, but we can always come back and have that conversation with ourselves. All right, how can I show up to love more? How can I show up to love myself more? How can I show up to be in awe of where I am, right? That this earth, like I'm not talking right now. My lungs are not working without the sun exactly where it is, without the ocean and the phytoplankton in the oceans, right? We're not even here. So continuing to be in awe of the earthly experience that we're having together, that we're sharing together, and then looking in the mirror and having those conversations and seeing ourselves with new eyes, right? Seeing ourselves with new eyes, not the old judgmental eyes of last week or yesterday, right? And again, this is an ongoing life journey, right? I'm 40. I'm sure at 45, I'm still going to be having self-defeating thoughts flow in. I'm not going to act like I'm ever going to get it down perfectly. But how can I? Oh, this is a consistent thought that pops up. Aaron is not enough. All right, well, how can I work on that? How can I address that? What do I need to investigate with my therapist? What do I need to investigate with myself, with my soul, with my meditation practice, with my prayer? What do I need to investigate and release? Maybe it has nothing to do with me being enough right now, but it's my child self from way back in the day projecting some story of Aaron not being enough, right? So I need to go say hello to little Aaron and give little Aaron some love and say, hey, you've always been enough. You've always been enough, Aaron, little Aaron, medium-sized Aaron, teenage Aaron. You were always enough. So here's to you. Here's to the journey. This went longer than I was anticipating. I'm actually not shocked, but thanks for listening. Thanks for stopping by. This is episode 30 of our Healing Voices podcast and YouTube channel. I am cheering you on. I believe in your healing. Every little shift matters. Every tiny little step you take that is saying yes to your wellness, saying yes to you loving yourself more, that is saying yes to you following your heart and passions more. Every little tiny step is huge. It's huge for the masses. It's huge for you. It's huge for your family system. May we keep having the courage. May we keep having the courage from now, as long as we're on this earth. May we keep having the courage to just be like, to have those conversations with ourselves, have those conversations with people that are safe in our world, people that we feel safe with, right? Have those conversations. Hey, how are you really? How are you doing really? How are you feeling really? And just take the time to hold space and listen and cheer each other on. So, all right. Big love to you. Thanks for dropping in with me. I wish you a beautiful rest of your 2021. And if you have ideas for where this Our Healing Voices podcast and YouTube channel ought to go, or might, like, you would love to see it go, topics you'd like to see discussed, interviews you'd like to recommend, I would love to hear from you. So shoot me a message on Instagram, shoot me a message on Facebook. I would love to hear from you. Once again, I'm Aaron Lahman. Thanks for joining, y'all. Have a beautiful night and day, or middle of the day, wherever you're at and whenever you're listening to this.